Here in the overview we have someone on a red background, we have someone which is a suspect, and we have someone on yellow. So shall we attack? Can we attack them? Can we shoot them? In this vid we will discuss about the flags, the timers, and how we can mark suspect people even before they are attacking us. It's very important to understand your timers and other people's timers for a successful Capsuleer life. Flags will normally appear at the top left of the window. At any moment we can have no flags, we can have multiple flags. Hovering over them will provide additional information. Regarding timers, some of the timers are visible but others are hidden. Now, which one is the flag and which one is the timer? Well, any flag like yellow suspect flag will not last forever, only for a very specific amount of time. For a yellow suspect flag, that is 15 minutes. So it's okay to say suspect flag, also it is okay to say suspect timer as well. Both formulations refers to the same thing. Be mindful, not all yellow backgrounds mean suspect. There needs to be the yellow like pirate flag, and the text pilot is a suspect in order to have the confirmation. Not lastly, you can modify your overview settings to display any other colors. This tutorial assumes the default settings. If you have modified the overview colors, or if you have load different overview, yes, you can do that. There might be different colors for you. Let's start with the most important ones, the legality timers. First legality timer is the suspect flag or the yellow flag, and it lasts for 15 minutes. Any other Capsuleers may freely attack them. Concord will not intervene, and attacker will not lose any kind of security status. In high security space, a pilot can acquire a suspect timer by performing any of the following actions. By stealing from a container or wreck, remember those yellow containers or yellow wrecks, by engaging mobile structures such as mobile tractor unit or mobile depots, by having a kill right activated on them, by assisting a suspect player. So if someone is assisting a suspect player, they will become suspect as well, and by assisting an outlaw. An outlaw is someone with security status -5 or less. In low security space, someone can become a suspect by attacking a player's ship, but not the capsule, with any offensive modules including smart bombs and other non-targeted weapons, by stealing from a container, the same as in high sec, and by assisting a suspect, the same as in high sec. You need to lower your security status from here, from this button, to put the yellow in order to become yellow or a suspect. Alright, now about the criminal flag. Criminal flag or red pirate flag lasts for 15 minutes. Concord will destroy the offender in high sec. They will not be able to initiate warp, jump through a stargate, or dock in a station. Concord will just spawn and attack them within Concord timings. Gate station sentry guns will also fire upon the criminal. Any other player may fire on the pilot without penalty, well, if they have the necessary time. Any wrecks or containers belonging to the criminal will be automatically abandoned. They will become blue loot, so anyone will be able to take from them without penalty. In low sec, any player can engage a criminal with no penalty. Turrets at gates and station will fire upon approach, but Concord will not be there to intervene. Any wrecks or cans will become blue loot, again, freely available. A criminal timer overrides any suspect timers. Any actions that normally provoke a suspect timer will actually extend the criminal timer by the same amount, and in order to get one in high sec, you need to activate any kind of offensive modules illegally against another player's ship or assets, very important on assets as well. or you can get a criminal timer by assisting a criminal or by interfering in a limited engagement. In low sec, you need to kill a capsule to become a criminal or to provide assistance to another criminal. Like before, you need to lower security status from this button in here. You need to become red in here in order to be able to do criminal activities. Both the suspect timer and the criminal timer only applies in Empire space. If you get a criminal flag in low sec, do not jump into high sec. Well, the reasons are obvious. In high sec, they will destroy your ship immediately. Flag starts when the illegal action starts, so it is not necessary to actually destroy a ship to have a criminal tag. And when ship is destroyed, timer or the criminal timer continues on capsule. Alright, now is legality timer number 3, which is limited engagement timer, which looks like two light blue swords. Limited engagement timer lasts for 5 minutes and the resuming hostilities will reset or restart the timer. It comes in two forms. First of all, we have the accepted duel. A player provoke another player to a duel and the second player accepted, so both of them now will have a limited engagement timer. And the second form is created for pilots under suspect and criminal flags in order to allow them to defend themselves. So whenever we attack a criminal or a suspect, right, they will have this limited engagement timer, which allows them to fight back, to respond to our attack. As long as the timer is active, the players involved can shoot each other, including their assets, with no further Concord intervention. As we have already discussed, any other pilots interfering in the combat between two pilots with an active limited engagement, such as using remote support modules on one of the parties, will receive a criminal flag for the interference in high security space and a suspect flag for interference in low security space. Limited engagement timer when engaging a suspect or criminal can be multiple at any time, so it can include any number of pilots. You can see the pilots involved by hovering over the flag. Legality timers operates only in Empire spaces, not in null space or in wormholes. Let's move now to combat timers, and let's start with the easiest ones in order to be able to explain the more difficult ones. So first of all, we have the Non-Capsuleer Logout timer, also known as the NPC flag. This lasts for 5 minutes, is this yellow exclamation mark. It lasts for 5 minutes and is created when you either shoot or you get shot by an NPC. We are here doing a mission, so we are shooting NPCs, so this timer stays at 5 minutes all the time. This means we will remain in space if we disconnect or close the client until the timer runs out. Okay. Of course, in this time we can jump, we can log out, right? But we cannot log out while in space. The NPC timer is not going to be renewed even if we do disconnect. So if in this moment I lose connection with the client, the ship will stay for 5 minutes in space, but no more than 5 minutes. Having this flag is very easy to understand why it is in place. If the NPCs are cornering a player, it would be so easy for that player simply just to log out and hopefully to get away from that situation. So this flag prevents exactly that. And similar to that, we have Capsuleer Logout timer, known as well as PvP flag. This lasts for 15 minutes, right? And is activated when an offensive module is used on another player, including non-targeted weapons like smart bombs or ESCM burst, or the ship is being attacked by another player in any capacity. The same consequences as before. The ship cannot log off while in space until timer expires in 15 minutes. The timer this time will be renewed once you are shot while already having disconnected or logged off, so this is a difference compared with the previous one. And with no other timers or restrictions, we can still dock, jump, dock and log out, of course, again if there are no other restrictions. This flag functions in all areas of space. And next we have the weapons timer or the weapons flag, which is a red chain icon, and it lasts for 60 seconds. This is triggered by using offensive modules against any other capsuleer, including webs, painters, dams, scrams, points, turrets, missiles, drones, pretty much everything. Unlike the capsuleer log-off timer, you do not get this flag simply by being shot by another player. You need to shoot someone in order to get this flag. The consequences are very important, as both players with weapons timer will not be able to jump, dock, eject from, store, refit, switch ships, and also it's preventing tethering again for 60 seconds. So this timer of 60 seconds will restart with any offensive action, and this flag functions in all areas of space. Alright then, we have learned that we can attack suspect criminals and outlaws, but the question is, should we engage them? Bear in mind, once we shoot them, they can shoot back, so we need to have a better ship, that's from the start. Also, if they are suspects in high sec, they might have buddies ready to help them, and those pilots will become suspects as well, but probably they will be fine with that. They will not suffer any special consequences out of that. And also bear in mind that Concord will act only in high sec, only on criminals, and only after a determined amount of time, which makes them quite predictable. You may encounter suspect pilots hanging around gates or next to stations, but we cannot be sure if they are just logged out, as we have seen the capsule or the ship may still not be removed from the game after the pilot has logged out, or they are just staying there as a bite. So the answer is yes, we can attack them if they have suspect criminal or outlawed status, but it really depends on the situation, on the particular situation. Alright, we have a few other timers to discuss. First of all, we have the session change timer, which lasts for 10 seconds and appears on all kind of situations, like when we are logging in, when we are docking or undocking, when we are leaving the ship, or we are boarding, unboarding the ship. Shortly put, whenever the session is changing, there is a timer that must be respective of 10 seconds. Once we do one session change action, we cannot do another session change action for 10 seconds. Alright, next one is location change timer, which lasts for 30 seconds. Undocking a station will give us a 30 seconds visible location change timer. We cannot be locked, or we cannot bump into other ships. Imagine Jita, someone would be kind enough to keep bumping into other ships in order to prevent everyone to warp up. That would be a total disaster. So This gives us the time to initiate the warp, or if the situation is dire, let's say there are a lot of enemies just outside the station, right? We can just stop the ship, control space, we can wait 10 seconds for the session change timer to expire, and after that we have another 20 seconds of invulnerability in order to dock back into station.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
Next we have jump clock timer, which lasts for 60 seconds. Jumping through a gate or wormhole will trigger this 60 seconds jump clock timer. While not moving, as we still sit, we don't move, we will be clocked, and it's not possible to be declocked except by objects closer to 2000 meters, right? And while clocked, ship is invulnerable to any kind of attacks and will not appear on the grid. Jumping, however, if someone is waiting for us here at the gate, they will know that someone has jumped, because jumping makes visual and audio effects at the gate that can be heard and seen. Alright, next we have Abyssal Warp Fuel Collapse Timer, which is 20 minutes. Upon entering an Abyssal dead space, we have 20 minutes timer. The only way out is by completing the mission within those 20 minutes. Failing to complete all 3 Abyssal pockets will result in destruction of the ship and the capsule. Space logout timer 1 minute. When logging out in space, ship will still remain in space for 1 minute, assuming there are no other flags or timers. Ship will try an emergency warp to somewhere in the middle of nowhere, but that will fail if the ship is warp disrupted at logout time. Trade modification timer. Once we sell something, we put something for sale, or once we modify a sell or buy order, yes, there is a 5 minutes delay in which we can actually modify that order. Let's try this, and yes, here, and here is the operation delay. Wormhole polarization timer. There are a maximum of 2 jumps in 5 minutes. It's very important to know if you jump from in to out. Well, out to in, as we are in this situation, it's less dangerous. So as we can see, I have already jumped through this wormhole 2 times, and now I need to wait for another 4 minutes and 20 seconds until I can make another jump. Active boosters timer. There are icons for all active boosters with the remaining time and the effects. Alright guys, up until now we have been waiting for someone to shoot us or do something. What about if we can do something to mark these people as dangerous before they can do anything? Let's do that right now. I will pick just a random person from here. Let's say this guy. I will click on the name, right click, and pilot show info. Right, and from here we can simply click here, add contact, right? Click on the red, and if I click add contact, this guy will appear for me as dangerous. Of course, you can play with these colors. You can put dark red or orange or light blue or dark blue according to your needs. Alright, more than this, there's no need to mark each of them individually. You can go to their employment history and click the top one, which means the corporation that they are employed with currently, and in there you right click and add corporation contact. Well, it's the same thing. You can click on the red add contact, and in this very moment the whole corporation, the whole members of the corporation will appear in red for you. All right, you can go even further than that, and on corporation you can click show info, and if the corporation is part of an alliance, you can do the same with the alliance. You can mark the whole alliance as in red. All right, there are a few, let me close this, there are a few known ganker corporations and alliances. I will show them here on the screen right now. Also, you will find the same list in description. Of course, this list is far from being completed. It's not completed at all, right? But it's a start. You can start by marking these guys if you like. If you can mark these guys as dangerous, right? I'm not saying that ganking is wrong or is not wrong. If the game accepts it, we all should accept it as a fact, even if sometimes we don't like it. Alright, with that said, that was everything from us, and see you in the next video.
Warp drive active.
All of our tutorials are meant to be seen in sequence. Be sure you have checked on that. Before we go, please give us a thumbs up, it's free. Grow with the channel, hit that subscribe button and activate notification bell now. Share and always recommend MaxT in your social media and to your friends. Thank you for being with us. See you in the next one.